Deep in the heart of southeast Kentucky, where the canopy forms a thick, green veil against the sky and the terrain tells tales older than human memory, a legend walks. For generations, the dense, shadowy forests of Appalachia have guarded their most famous secret, Bigfoot. It is a legend built on fleeting glimpses, unsettling vocalizations in the night, and a profound sense of being watched from the ancient woods. While countless have searched, clear, irrefutable evidence has remained as elusive as the creature itself. But a recent highly specialized expedition into this rugged landscape believes that may be about to change. This is the story of the Expedition Bigfoot team, a group of highly trained individuals who embarked on what may be the most compelling scientific investigation into the subject to date. Armed with cutting-edge technology and a resolve forged in months of preparation, they entered the wilderness not as mere believers, but as investigators on a mission to finally separate myth from reality. What they encountered was a series of events so strange and sequential that it has left them convinced they are closer than ever to solving one of the world's greatest mysteries. The Expedition Bigfoot team is a unique fusion of scientific discipline and field-hardened expertise. Leading the charge is Dr. Mireya, a primatologist and explorer whose previous discoveries have literally rewritten textbooks. Her analytical mind and experience with great apes provide a crucial scientific framework for the investigation. Alongside her is Ronnie LeBlanc, a cryptozoologist whose lifelong passion for the subject is matched only by his field experience. He serves as the heart and instinct of the operation. Providing strategic oversight and a macro view of the situation is survival expert Russell Acord, whose vantage point from high cliffs allows him to monitor the team's movements and the unseen activities surrounding them. Rounding out the core team is Bryce, the group's tech specialist, tasked with managing a network of trail cameras, audio recorders, and frequency analyzers that form the technological net meant to capture the uncapturable. Their base of operations is a mobile command center bristling with monitors and sensitive equipment, a stark contrast to the primeval forest that surrounds them. Their plan is methodical: to saturate a hot zone of reported activity with technology, then use their combined expertise to interpret any findings, whether they be auditory, visual, or physical. The initial days of the expedition are quiet, filled with the routine sounds of a healthy forest. But this tranquility is short-lived. It begins subtly, a single sharp knock on wood that echoes with an unnatural resonance. Then another, and another, until the air is filled with a percussive conversation emanating from multiple points around them. The team's audio equipment, capable of capturing frequencies beyond human hearing, begins to light up. Alongside the knocks come low, guttural growls and high-pitched, almost whistling calls that none of the experts can attribute to known fauna like bears, wolves, or coyotes. The sense of a deliberate presence becomes overwhelming. Heavy, bipedal footsteps crunch through the underbrush, seemingly moving in a coordinated manner to flank the team. For Dr. Mayer, the behavior is eerily reminiscent of primate communication and territorial display, but on a scale she has never witnessed. For Ronnie, it is the confirmation of a lifetime of research. The forest was speaking the language of the creature he has long sought. Driven by the intensifying sounds, Mayer and LeBlanc push deeper into a thickly wooded valley. The atmosphere grows heavy with tension. It is here that LeBlanc, his adrenaline surging, catches a glimpse of a large, dark, bipedal form moving swiftly between the trees about 100 yards away. Without a second thought, he gives chase, crashing through the brush despite Dr. Mayer's urgent warnings to maintain protocol and consider his safety. High above, Russell Acord watches the scene unfold through a powerful spotting scope. His perspective confirms the team's deepest suspicions. He observes not just the two investigators, but also the movement of something much larger, something that seems to be herding them, its path creating a deliberate pattern of disruption in the canopy. Accord's voice crackles over the radio, a calm but grave warning. They are not just tracking an animal. They are engaged with an intelligent presence that understands the terrain better than they ever could. The chase proves futile. After a frantic pursuit, Mayer and LeBlanc find themselves disoriented, having been led in a wide arc that brings them back to their starting point. It is a disheartening realization that suggests they were deliberately misled. However, the failed pursuit yields a critical discovery. Along the path they were led on, the team finds not one, but 3 large, intricately woven nests constructed from snapped-off branches and foliage. These are not the haphazard beds of bears or the simple shelters of deer. They are substantial, structured formations, suggesting a creature of significant size and, potentially, intelligence. Then, the forest falls silent. The knocks, the calls, the footsteps, all cease abruptly. The sudden quiet is more unnerving than the previous cacophony. It is a silence that feels watchful and intelligent. To test the phenomenon, Russell Acord unleashes a blast of recorded sounds across the valley, a provocative attempt to elicit a response. The only answer is the continued, heavy silence, deepening the team's unease. The evidence is mounting that they are not merely being observed, but are participants in a complex interaction. Amid the auditory and psychological warfare, a more tangible clue emerges. A check on one of their strategically placed trail cameras, positioned near a secluded pond, reveals the unit has been violently torn from its mounting and hurled into the water. The act itself seems like a deliberate act of sabotage. With meticulous care, Bryce Johnson retrieves the waterlogged camera and extracts the SD card, hoping the data has survived. What he finds on the footage sends a jolt of excitement through the entire team. The video files reveal several key sequences. First, there are extreme close-up shots from the camera's nighttime mode, showing strange, spike-like patterns that the team hypothesizes could be Corsair. Then, in a fleeting but breathtaking clip, a large, dark, unmistakably bipedal figure is seen moving with purpose through the trees before melting into the blackness of the forest. Most tellingly, the final clip shows the moment of the camera's destruction. A large, dark hand or paw fills the frame before the image spins wildly and goes black. Dr. Mayer is adamant. This is not the behavior of a curious bear, which would more likely sniff or chew on the device. This was a targeted, frustrated act by a creature that understood the camera was an intrusion. For the first time, the team has visual evidence that aligns perfectly with the intelligent, evasive behavior they have been witnessing. Clashing philosophies and a unified purpose. The intensity of the experience inevitably leads to friction. In the command center, Dr. Mayer confronts LeBlanc about his reckless chase. She argues that such impulsive actions compromise the scientific integrity of the mission and, more importantly, endanger the entire team in an unpredictable environment. LeBlanc, while acknowledging the risk, defends his actions with raw emotion. He explains that after a lifetime of pursuit, the chance to close the distance, to see the creature with his own eyes, was an instinct he could not suppress. This clash, however, is not a fracture but a testament to the team's dedication. It highlights the two essential sides of the quest, the dispassionate need for scientific evidence and the burning human desire for discovery. Their argument is cut short when a new, powerful series of vocalizations, deep, resonant roars that register across multiple audio frequencies, echo through the valley. The shared moment of awe reinforces their unified purpose, to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. As the expedition draws to a close, the team is left with a trove of evidence but a mystery that has only deepened. The collected data, the audio recordings of unexplained sounds, the testimony of intelligent movement, the strange nests, and the compelling trail camera footage, forms a mosaic that points overwhelmingly to the presence of an unknown, large bipedal primate. Yet, each answer spawns new, more profound questions. Why would a creature systematically disable a camera? Does it possess a level of intelligence that allows it to recognize and thwart human technology? Was the entire experience, the sounds, the chase, the silence, a deliberate strategy to confuse, mislead, and study the intruders in its domain? One conclusion is inescapable for the Expedition Bigfoot team. They are on the trail of something extraordinary. The legend of Bigfoot is no longer just a campfire story. In the deep woods of Kentucky, it has become a tangible, intelligent, and elusive presence. The team has no intention of turning back. They know that the evidence they have gathered is a compelling chapter, but not the final word, in a story that could ultimately rewrite our understanding of the natural world and humanity's place within it. The hunt, they confirm, is far from over.